UFC 311, Islam Makhachev versus Renato Moicano just ended. And in the co-main event, we got Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov for the bantamweight title. And that co-main event was undoubtedly the best fight on the card. And I think it was worthy of its own dedicated video. I'll be doing a full card UFC 311 post-fight. As soon as that's done, I'll link it down in the description if you care to go check it out. And by the way, guys, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. We're almost to 34,000. We'll probably hit it today. So if you could subscribe, like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. But Merab Dvalishvili defeats Umar Nurmagomedov via unanimous decision, 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47. We'll talk about those scorecards more in a second. When I watched this fight live, okay, and I want to go back and rewatch this fight, I thought it was razor close. I thought it could go either way, but I leaned Merab. I thought Merab probably did enough to get it. To be honest, when I was watching this fight, I basically had it. I thought 1 and 2 were clearly Umar Nurmagomedov. 3 was razor close, but I leaned Merab. 4 was clearly Merab. And then 5, I thought was a lot closer than a lot of people made it out to be. And I thought Merab probably just did enough in the end. He caught Umar with a big shot. I think it was a right hand. And then also got a takedown late in the 5th round and did a little bit of ground and pound. And I thought that's what probably won him the fight. But to be honest, this was a razor close competitive bantamweight title fight that truly could have went either way. I thought maybe it might be a split decision. There's some people out there with the most delusional takes. They're saying Umar dominated and got robbed. Well, not dominated. They're saying Umar got robbed. It's a clear 3-2. Or there's some people saying Merab dominated and Umar got exposed and he never even deserved a title shot. I've seen people saying that in chat. It's crazy. I don't understand why people are so emotionally attached. They can't look at things objectively. You can have a bias and still look at things objectively. You can have your own thoughts and still look at things objectively. And at the end of the day, this was a high-level, super competitive fight. We'll go through it round by round real quick. Round 1. Not a lot happened in the first minute or so. But in round 1, Merab landed a right hand. I'm not even sure if it landed and then tackled Umar afterwards. But Umar scrambled right back up. Wasn't even really a takedown. Wasn't credited as a takedown. And in round 1, I thought Umar outstruck Merab, landed a really good straight left hand about midway through the round, maybe a minute and a half into the round or so. And then late landed a really good right hook that kind of stung Merab. I thought round 1 was undoubtedly Umar Nurmagomedov. Second round, Umar was landing the better shots. Merab started getting aggressive the second half of the round. Shot it on a single leg. Umar defended, got to his back, and ended up dragging him down for maybe 25 seconds or so. And I thought round 2 was pretty clearly Umar as well. I mean, it was closer than round 1, but I thought round 2 was Umar. Round 3. Round 3 was a razor close round. Maybe this is the most controversial round of the entire fight. I'm not sure. Round 5 I thought was pretty close as well. But round 3, at the end of round 2, you started to see Umar starting to slow down. And the writing was on the wall. You're like, okay, we know how good Merab's cardio is. Umar had the 1 5-round fight against Corey Sandhagen where he looked good. But Merab's pressure and pace is different, and you could see that Merab was sensing it. I think there was a moment in round 2 where they clinched up and Merab landed a knee to the body, and you could see Merab was starting to flow downhill at the end of round 2. Round 3 was really close. Umar seemed like he was having a hard time dealing with the pressure. He was landing good shots still, but he started kind of shooting almost panic takedowns himself that he wasn't really getting close to because it was like he wanted to get Merab off of him. And I think round 3 was still very close, but Merab would wane in and maybe stuff a takedown and land a short shot on the break. And he was throwing these crazy just hooks. Very sloppy striking from Merab like normal. But he was having moments where he was finding shots. And in round 3, he started taunting Umar Nurmagomedov. I think Merab might have got a takedown or 2 in round 3. But in round 3, I have a page of post-fight notes for when I do my full card post-fight. If there's anything notable I want to put down to remember, I literally typed on round 3, Merab taunting against the fence and taunting while being taken down at the end may cost him. I really thought round 3 may end up screwing Merab because Merab ended up against the fence and he started taunting as he hung out near the fence and talked to the commentary team for about 20 seconds. And then at the end, Umar got to his back and tried to drag him down with a similar takedown to round 2 and got taken down at the tail end of round. There was really no damage done with it, but the judges were scoring wrestling heavily all night long. And with a close round like round 3, I was like, you know what? They may score round 3 for Umar Nurmagomedov, and I didn't think it was outlandish to score round 3 for Umar Nurmagomedov, but I still gave Merab the round. I thought he landed some decent shots. He was pressuring Umar nonstop. Umar didn't do a whole lot of damage. Umar was panic shooting. Umar didn't do any damage in the clinch or with the takedown. Merab started to get bloodied a bit, ate a few jabs in this round, but I thought, you know what, Merab has got that third round. So the fourth round is similar to the first round for Umar. Fourth round, Merab clearly won. Merab started to just kind of walk him down. He would shoot a single leg, kind of take him down with ease, and then just tell him to pop right back up. He was getting him down, letting him up, took him down multiple times in round 4. You could see that Umar was starting to wear down. He was still landing some shots. He wasn't completely gassed, but round 4, undoubtedly Merab. Now, round 5, I actually think is a lot closer than people realize. And, you know, it was crazy because I really think Umar would have won this fight if not for like the last 45 seconds of round 1. Because you look at this round, it felt like Merab thought he was way out ahead when he really wasn't. And he kind of took his foot off the gas a bit in the 5th round. And it seemed like Umar was landing the better shots. Umar was still tired and Merab was still pressuring. But you would have these exchanges where Merab would move in, throw these sloppy shots, miss most of them, and then Umar would hit him with like a 2-punch combination. And was landing good body kicks throughout the fight. Landed a couple good body kicks, I believe, in the 5th round as well. I might be mixing up some of the strikes, but you get the point, the general consensus of the round. And then the last minute of the round, it's close up until this point, but I had Umar a little bit ahead. Merab lands, I think it was a right hand that kind of stings Umar. People act like it hurt him badly, but it stung him. It definitely had an impact. And then also like spam takedowns and eventually got him down at the end of round 5. I think he took him down once in round 5 and pointed to him and laughed. Then took him down again at the end and actually did a little bit of damage. And I think that one shot at the end, plus the takedown and a little bit of ground and pound, probably edged out round 5 for Merab. So live, I had 1-2 for Umar, 3, 4, and 5 for Merab. I want to go back and rewatch it. But I'll tell you this, I don't think it's crazy to look at round 5 and say, you know, Umar was out striking him for the majority of the round and landing and busting him up and landing good shots. And then, okay, Merab landed one good shot at the end and got a takedown with a little bit of ground and pound. I think round 5, you could score either way. I think round 3, you could score either way. Even round 2, where I lean Umar, maybe it's not as much of a toss-up. You know, maybe you could give that to Merab. I think that would be a little bit crazy. And by the way, let's actually talk about the scorecards real quick before we get into it anymore. Chris Lieben had good scorecards. Umar Nurmagomedov 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5 for Merab. No shame in that. Then you had Michael Bell, who had the same exact scorecards. Then you had Chris Crail, who, if I remember correctly, also had bad scorecards in other fights tonight. He had round 1 for Merab and then 3, 4, and 5 for Merab. In what universe do you? I just don't get. How do you give round 1 to Merab? That's egregious. And granted, he had the right winner. It seems like, you know, again, it was a close fight, but he had the right winner. Okay, he had a fine winner. But how are you giving these awful scorecards? 4-1 in round 1? Like, maybe if you gave him 2, maybe it's not the most egregious scorecard. But to score round 1 for Merab is literally delusional. I can tell you right now, the judges were heavily favoring takedowns and control time throughout this fight. But I really thought round 3, when Merab was taunting, I said, you know what? He's going to end up losing a controversial split decision, and he's going to be pissed that he chilled up against the fence for 20 seconds and also allowed a takedown in the last like 15 seconds of the 3rd round. But at the end of the day, here's my breakdown of the fight. I think that Merab is, I've been saying this even before this fight, I think Merab's the GOAT. If you look at his resume real quick, I mean, people for some reason, only credit title defenses in the GOAT conversation. People laugh at me when I say, oh, Merab's the GOAT even before he beat Umar. People laugh at me when I say, oh, Bilal's already in that discussion because of his resume at welterweight. Look at Merab's resume. So he beats Umar. He beats Sean O'Malley, dominates Sean O'Malley, beats Henry Cejudo, beats Piotr Jan, beats Jose Aldo, beats Marlon Moraes. I mean, just that alone. I mean, think about those back-to-back wins. Jose Aldo, Piotr Jan, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley, Umar Nurmagomedov. Insane resume. With the win over Umar, undoubtedly the bantamweight GOAT. I don't care what anyone says. His resume is already a million times better than Aljamain Sterling. And apparently he did this with staph infection. Apparently he had staph infection in his leg. We all saw kind of the cuts in his leg and whatnot. Apparently he had a gash. Apparently he had staph. This guy's cardio is freakish. Is absolutely freakish. And by the way, you know, There were some people in the live chat saying, oh, Joey cope, just because I said Umar could have won this fight, which he could have won this fight. The funniest thing about this whole thing is Merab winning. Dana's definitely pissed. Dana's not happy that Merab won. Sean O'Malley in the crowd looked devastated, even though he had those goofy sunglasses on that looked like he got it from a Happy Meal. He looked devastated. He's not beating Merab. Umar is the only guy in the division I see right now that has a chance at beating Merab. But Merab's cardio was just, it was so unbelievable. A lot of people are suspicious of Merab because of how good his cardio is. He looked as fresh in the 5th round as he did in the 1st round. I don't know how that's physically possible. He has the best cardio in the UFC, bar none. I don't know who anyone in the history that has better cardio than Merab. And that's really what won him this fight. And also, even if you're one of the people that thought Umar won, right? Because there is some people out there that thought Umar won, which I don't think is delusional at all. I really think Merab kind of won this fight on optics. The way he was kind of clowning her, like as much as I thought the taunting was going to kind of catch up to him and screw him because he was allowing positional control, I think the pressure, the optics of the fight, it's similar to Pereira versus Jan, the 3rd round, where I thought Jan won that 3rd round, but the optics look horrible for Jan because he was kind of wobbly and off balance, and he didn't look particularly great, where Pereira was just kind of standing there, kind of stoic. And in this fight, 3, 4, and 5, Umar, I don't want to say looked afraid, but he looked unstable and he looked worn down, where Merab was just pressuring forward. And even though Umar was landing some good counter shots and kind of still in the fight, he's not getting, ragged out or destroyed by any means. It's just the optics of it. And then you have Merab clowning him and Merab moving forward. I think the judges just look at that and they're like, oh, Merab definitely won. All 3 judges, 3, 4, and 5, undoubtedly. 3 and 5 were very close rounds. And the judges historically is horrible. So I think this was a super high level fight where Merab, with his cardio, with his pace, with his pressure, went out there and defeated Umar. Now, there are some people, and I hate to just, it seems like I'm constantly, I feel like everyone on the internet does this. Everyone on MMA YouTube probably does this. Even MMA personalities on Twitter do this as well. I feel like we're always kind of trying to debunk the worst takes in MMA. There's people saying Umar got exposed tonight. Exposed at what? Being the 2nd best bantamweight in the world? Because let me actually pull up the rankings real quick. I'll tell you this right now. I don't think anyone has a chance to beat Merab other than Umar. Maybe Jan if he improves, but I don't think Jan's going to beat him. And I don't think anyone's beaten Umar except maybe Jan as well. Look at the division right now. Corey Sandhagen isn't beating either one of them. There's no chance, no how. Devison Figueiredo isn't beating either one of them. No chance, no how. Marlon Vera, I'm not even going to mention him. Henry Cejudo, no. Song Yadong, he's still young. Maybe if he improves and Merab and Umar get older, but Umar's not particularly old. Mario Batista, honestly, out of the whole division right now, Mario Batista has the best chance to beat either one of these guys. I know that sounds crazy. Sean O'Malley was distraught in the crowd because he's not beating Merab, nor is he beating Umar. And again, I know some people are thinking, Joey wanted Umar to win. Merab winning not only pissed Dana White off, but it also made it harder to sell an undeserved title shot for Sean O'Malley. Who wants to see that again? Merab just dominated him. Merab just dominated him back in September. So you're going to throw Sean O'Malley back in there with Merab for him to get dominated again? Now, if Umar would have won, it would have been a fresh matchup. Umar strikes quite a bit, so O'Malley would at least had a chance. They could have sold that fight. They would have pretended, oh, it's Habib Connor too, even though it's not. It's not even close to it. But with Merab Dvalishvili still as champ, I don't see how Sean O'Malley has a chance. He's not beating Merab. He has to fluke KO him in the first round. He's not beating him at all. It's just not happening. So maybe that throws cold water. But what do you do for the division right now? I guess you have to give Jan a title shot maybe. The desk was kind of floating the idea of an immediate rematch. If they give Umar an immediate rematch, Merab's head's going to explode. I don't mind that idea just because it's the best fight in the division right now. But one thing I came up with, look, Pantoja's kind of cleaned out the flyweight division. The UFC got rid of Makayev, who would have been the legit threat to Pantoja. Let Pantoja move up and fight Merab. Pantoja has jiu-jitsu. Pantoja probably loses, but Pantoja has very good jiu-jitsu. So Merab has great wrestling and pressure and pace, but Pantoja would have a jiu-jitsu advantage against him. And Pantoja's a very good fighter, and he's defended his belt so many times that he could potentially win that fight. I'm not saying he would. I would favor Merab, but I would like that fight. I mean, let me know down in the comments, what fight would you guys want to see? I just don't see it right now. I guess you would give Petr Yan an opportunity. Petr Yan didn't do horrible against Merab, but it's not the greatest, because considering he beat him not that long ago, 50-45, I believe. So overall, this fight was great. It was super high level. Umar did well for the first 2 rounds, but as he started to slow down, that's when Merab started to kind of pull out ahead. And Merab just has that style where he shoots and fails takedowns, or gets a takedown and gets limited control and doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but somehow finds a way to win. He just does. Umar looked great in this fight. His striking looked crisp. He was throwing a lot of good straight shots. He was kicking to the body nonstop. He was landing good inside leg kicks. Landed a couple like smacking head kicks. And what I mean when I say that is kind of like the foot smacking Merab's head. It wasn't like super impactful. But Merab had good moments as well. I mean, Merab was sloppily like throwing overhands, but he would like feint a takedown and throw some overhands, and he was landing some good shots. I mean, in that 5th round, it was a right hand, I believe, that stumbled Umar a little bit. And that literally could have won him, very well won him the 5th round. So I think Merab looks damn near unbeatable right now. If they were to rematch, I would probably pick Merab. I wasn't surprised that Merab won it all. But man, it's crazy when you look at the bantamweight division. I really don't know who beats Merab. Imagine Merab at like if you could size him up to another weight class, it'd be absolutely insane. Like the cardio that he has, the pressure, the pace that he has. Imagine if he had Sean O'Malley striking. I mean, Umar was breathing heavily in between rounds, and Merab is as fresh as round 1 and round 5. So at this point, I don't know who beats him. I don't think Mario Batista beats him. I know I said that he would have the best chance. I think Song Yadong improving maybe. But even that, Song Yadong got out-grappled by Petr Yan. I think Petr Yan's going to have to be the guy. But great fight. Not a robbery. Not a domination. Nobody was exposed. Merab is the #1 bantamweight. Umar Nurmagomedov is a very, very close second. Sean O'Malley isn't even third. Jan's better than him. Sandhagen's probably better than him as well. O'Malley got a fluke win over Aljo, and that's his only good, credible win. Let's be honest here. Okay, he didn't beat Jan. It was a brutal robbery. I poked Munoz and then claimed he won. So great fight. I think, I'll tell you this right now. This may be Umar's first loss. He's 29 years old. He'll be champion, okay? I don't know who beats him in the division. Jan's the only guy that I think could beat Umar. Merab's 34. Is he going to go up to featherweight? I doubt it. Maybe if Topuria went up, Merab would potentially go up. But I don't see Umar in another 2-3 years when maybe he's entering his prime or he's improved quite a bit. He might already be in his prime. You know, his grapple. I mean, no one's taken Merab down. He took Merab down. And he didn't get any real control, but he took Merab down. His striking looked crisp, as we always knew. And, you know, his cardio didn't look bad. I know people are going to probably act like he gassed out. I don't think who's not going to look tired against Merab? Merab is insane. He's so damn good. His cardio is unbelievable, but we've already hashed this out. Merab is going to be champion for a bit, quite a bit. Sean O'Malley, I kind of hope they give Sean O'Malley an undeserved rematch, because Merab's going to do the same thing to him again, start kissing his back, and Tim Welsh isn't going to expect a double leg again. But Merab gets it done. He beats undefeated Umar Nurmagomedov. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll be doing a full UFC 311 post-fight after this. I'll link it down in the description as soon as it's done. See you guys in the next video.